Hi everyone, it's your favorite CAD addict, Best of Delta. I hope you are all doing great. I know I've been away from this channel for a very long time. If I'm correct, we're talking about weeks. Well, that was not intentional, as I've been done with illness. Plus, some of the tools that I use in creating these contents were faulty, so I had to fix them. Um, good thing is that we're back again, and we're gonna be continuing from where we stopped. But before I dive into the business of today, I also want to use this medium to advise for youngsters out there who are doing all they can to put food on their table. Um, I want to say that whatever you're doing out there, just ensure you're not making a rash decision. Don't get into contracts that you might not be able to get out of easily due to anxiety or pressure from family, friends, and your folks. Make sure you think about whatever you are getting into critical before you do so. Because when it's all said and done, you are the only one that actually has the power to control the decisions or to bear the consequences of whatever decisions you make out there. So that's it. Also, I want to say a very gentle soul of a youngster in the music industry who recently lost his life, MOHBAD, A.K.A. IMOLE, to rest in peace. His soul should rest in perfect peace. And while with that, I also pray that God Almighty in His infinite mercy will grant us justice as it pertains to His death. Alright, so quickly back to the business of today. In our previous video, we looked at exercise 20. Today, moving forward, we are going to be looking at exercise 21. Alright, so quickly, as you can see on the taskbar, I have my AutoCAD open up. So following same approach, we'll take some dimensions from this design we have on our PDF document. Then we'll go straight to AutoCAD to reproduce these designs. So starting off from these cycles we've got here, we're going to be starting off from the cycles we've got here. Here we've got an outer cycle here of dimension 50 millimeter radius, and then we have other smaller cycles inscribed in this bigger cycle, and the radius of this cycle is 22 millimeter. The dimension of this smaller cycle is 22 millimeters in diameter, thereby making the radius 11 millimeters. Then we also have another smaller cycle inscribed in the bigger cycle right at the center of this bigger cycle, and the radius of this cycle inscribed at the center is 15 millimeters. So we'll go straight to CAD in attempt to reproduce this design. So back to CAD, using same approach, you take your cursor to where my cursor is right now. I hope you can see my screen. Then you click on here by left clicking on the mouse, and this dialog box comes up. The select template dialog box comes up. There you go straight to AutoCAD ISO. You left click on the mouse by left clicking on the mouse. Then same mode. If you've been following my videos, you already know what to do at this point, but if you not, you go straight to layers ribbon, then you click on layers properties. Alright, click on layers properties. Alright, once you've clicked on layer properties, this dialog box comes up, and you right click on the mouse, then you click on new layer. Now this layer we're going to be creating is called construct layer, construct one layer, and click OK. and the color of this layer is going to be cyan. So come straight to this box here, this box, white box here, on the row of the construct one layer. You click on it. Once you click on it, the select color dialog box comes up. Then you click on cyan, the color cyan, because you will need our construction layer color to be cyan. You select the color, then you click OK. We'll also create another layer. Okay, and this layer we'll call it diamond layer, and the color of this diamond layer will be deep blue. So come straight to this select color dialog box, you select blue, then you click OK. Next up, I feel we also need another layer called center. So I'll create another layer called center. Okay, type in center, center on the keyboard. Then you the color of this layer will be white. Alright, then you click OK. Once you're done creating these layers, you go straight up to close this dialog box. Take your cursor to where my point is right now, then you left click on the mouse to close this dialog box. Once you've succeeded in creating the layers, next up we'll create what we call construction lines. Now construction lines are means to achieving the actual design we need. Okay, so construction lines are just a means to an end. Alright, so to do that, you go to the draw ribbon, you click on the drop down menu of the draw ribbon, then you click on construction line. Okay, now as you can see, whatever we are going to draw here, the color is going to be white. Why is that? That's because we do not have the construction layer turned on. So I'll press the escape key to exit this command. Then I'll go straight to the layers ribbon, click on this drop down menu to make the construct one layer our current layer. So I'll select construct one layer. The construct layer then becomes our current layer. Now whatever we draw here is going to be under the construct one layer, So alright, so I'll go back to draw ribbon, I'll click on draw down of the draw ribbon, I'll click on construction line. Now having done that, I want to start off my drawing from the origin, so I'll type in 0, 0. I'll press enter on the keyboard. Now then I'll still zoom in. Alright, so I'll zoom in. Okay, so I'll take my cursor to the vertical at 90 degrees. I'll left click on the mouse to lock a vertical construction line. I also take my cursor to the horizontal. I'll lock my cursor to the horizontal at 0 degrees by left clicking on the mouse. Having done that, we've got a vertical and horizontal construction line. Next up, we'll get rid of this UCS icon here at the center or the point of intersection of our construction line, because it's getting on the way of our design. Alright, so to do that, I will take my cursor to where the UCS icon is, then I will left click on it to highlight it. Having done that, you right click, then you go straight to the last option on this dialog box where you have UCS icon settings. Then you click on show UCS icon at origin to deselect it. Now it has gotten out of our way. Next up, I will pan a little bit to centralize this point of intersection of these construction lines. So having done that, now we can go back to our main layer, which is the 0 layer. So I'll go back to the layers ribbon, click on the drop down menu of the layers ribbon, I'll select the 0 layer, then I'll go straight to the draw ribbon. Now what you want to draw in here is a cycle. We want to draw in our bigger cycle, which is a cycle of radius 50 millimeters. So I'll come straight to the draw ribbon, click on the cycle tool. Alright, then I'll lock my cursor to the points of intersection of this construction line, which will be serving as the center of our cycle. I will left click on the mouse, then I'll type in the radius of our cycle in the command line. Alright, so I'll type in 50, then you press enter on the keyboard. Now as you can see, that cycle is this small, so I'm going to zoom in. Alright, then I'll zoom in, then pan until I get to a size I feel more comfortable with, and I know that you can see it from wherever you are. Alright, so okay, this is a little bit too big, so I will reduce it. This is okay. I'm comfortable with this, so I'll leave it at that. So next up, we'll go back to the we'll have another cycle, a smaller cycle inscribed in this bigger cycle, right? Having same center as this bigger cycle, and the radius of that cycle is 15 millimeters. So I'll go back to the drawing board, click on cycle again, or you can easily type in cycle on the command line to enter the cycle command. So I'll lock my cursor to this center. Since it's sharing same center with the bigger cycle, I'll left click on the mouse, type in the radius, which is 15, and press enter on the keyboard. Now we've got our bigger cycle and the smaller cycle. Now we'll have other smaller cycles that is within this bigger cycle, around this bigger cycle. So we need to get the radius of or the dimensions of those smaller cycles, and also look for a means to locate the center of the smaller cycles. Alright, so we'll go back to our PDF document. Okay, so here we've got other smaller cycles of radius 11 millimeters and diameter 22 millimeters. Now to get the center of these smaller cycles, we'll have to produce another cycle sharing same center as the bigger cycle, and the dimension or the radius of this cycle is going to be 32.5 millimeter radius. Okay, 32.5 millimeter radius. Alright, so let's try to do that. So we'll go back to CAD. We are going to create that cycle of 32.5 millimeter with a construction line, because we are just using to get the center of these other smaller cycles. Alright, so I will go to cycle, the drawing board, then I'll click on cycle, and lock it to this center as well. Left click on the mouse, type in the radius 32.5, and press enter on the keyboard. Now that's a cycle. Now this point of intersection of this cycle and this vertical or construction line, this point of intersection right here is going to be serving as the center of one of those cycles. Now once you succeed in producing that smaller cycle here, using this as the center, we'll now use a tool called the array command to produce the other cycles automatically. That will save us the stress of locating the center points of each and every one of those smaller cycles. It makes our job easier and faster. Alright, so I will go back to our main layer, click on this zero, click on the zero layer to go back to our main layer. Then I'll go straight to the drawing board, click on the cycle tool, lock my cursor to this point, my cursor to this point of intersection by left clicking on the mouse. Now type in the dimension of the smaller cycle, which is 11 millimeter radius. I'll type in 11 millimeter on the command line, then I'll press enter on the keyboard. Now that's a smaller cycle. Next up, we'll use the tool called array to produce the other cycles. Alright, so I'll go straight to the modify ribbon where my cursor is right now. Then what we've got here is rectangular array, but in this case what we need is a polar array. So I will click on this drop down menu very close to the rectangular array. Then we'll have what we call the polar. We have different options. We have the path array, and we have the rectangular, and we also have the polar array. So for this particular case, we'll be using the polar array, so I'll click on it. Okay, so once you click on it, CAD will ask you select the object you want to array. So in this case, we'll be arraying this smaller cycle, so I'll click on it. Now press enter on the keyboard. And once you've done that, be asked to specify base point or to specify base axis of rotation, and for this case is the center of this bigger cycle. So I'll take my cursor to this center, lock it to that center by left clicking on the mouse. And once you do that, Here a dialog box comes up, the array dialog box comes up. Here we'll be able to make changes. You'll be able to choose the number of items you need from this array. You'll be able to choose the distance between these cycles, and also be able to make other changes. So for this case you only need 6 items here, which is exactly what we've got here. So there won't be need for us to make any changes. So go straight ahead and close the dialog box, then proceed to the other part of the designs. Alright, so take your cursor to this point, then you left click on the mouse to close the dialog box. Alright, so moving forward, we go back to our PDF document to get other dimensions of our design. Okay, so right here you see we've got a kind of a lever coming up from our bigger cycle. Okay, and so we want to reproduce this in our CAD environment. So to do that, we have to offset our, yes, we have to offset or probably produce a construction line coming off on the circumference of this bigger cycle, then offset at a distance of 43.4 millimeters. Alternatively, we could produce a bigger cycle. We'll produce a bigger cycle of radius 93.4 millimeters. Yes, we could do that. Produce a bigger cycle of radius, yes, 93.4 millimeters. Then probably offset other parts of this arcs, because this lever is made up of arcs, so we could easily offset the other part of the arcs, then probably join them up to get this lever. Alright, so let's do that. So we'll go back to CAD. Alright, so the distance between these arcs, as you can see, okay, for this first arc here, this part of the outer part of the lever we've got here is 115 millimeter radius. So we'll go back to CAD and produce a cycle of 115 millimeter radius. Alright, so we'll go straight to the drawing board, click on the cycle tool, lock your cursor to the center, left click on the mouse, type in the radius 115 millimeters, and press enter on the keyboard. Now that's what we've got there. So next up, got to CAD, we've got another hack here too, and now the distance between this first hack and this other hack is 10 millimeters. So we'll simply use the offset tool. Alright, so we'll go back to yes, we'll go back to CAD, go to offset. Alright, go to modify ribbon, then you click on offset. Once you do that, you'll be asked to type in the offset distance. In this case is 10 millimeters, so I'll type in 10, then press enter on the keyboard. Then you'll be asked to click or select the object you want to offset. In this case is this bigger cycle, so I'll click on it, place it, take my cursor, place it on this cycle, then left click on the mouse to offset this object. Okay, you're setting it outwards, not inwards, so you can use your cursor to give direction to direction of your offset. So in this case we're offsetting outwards, so I'll take my cursor away from the cycle to indicate that I'm offsetting outwards. So once you've done that, then you left click on the mouse. So back to CAD. Alright, we've got another hack here. We've got another hack here, and the distance between these arcs as well is yes, is 10 millimeters. Okay, so I'll produce another hack again of same distance. So since we already have the offset tool on and with the same dimension or with the same parameters, so there won't be need for me to go back and start choosing the offset command again. It's already selected, so I'll just go ahead and click on this other cycle, offset outwards again. Okay, that is the third hack we've got there, which is this very one here at the center. It's cutting across the lever. Alright, so next up we'll produce another the fourth arc here, and it's also at a distance of 10 millimeters too from this third arc. So I also offset again outwards at 10 millimeters. So we'll go back to PDF document. Here we are left with the last arc here, and it's also at a distance of 10 millimeters from the fourth arc. So same approach, go back to CAD, click on the fourth arc and offset outwards. Now I've got all the arcs. So next up, moving forward, go back to our PDF document. Now you can see we've got a fillet right at the end of this lever, both to the top and the bottom of our lever here. So to produce this arc, or what we call a curve, we'll use cycles. All right, we'll use a cycle to produce that. But the issue is how to locate the center of these cycles. Now to locate the center of these cycles, we are going to be using angular construction line inclined at 37 degrees to the horizontal. All right, so we're producing this, yes, this angular construction line both to the top and bottom of our design. All right, so we'll go back to CAD, then we'll make sure we change our main layer back to the construction layer to make it our current layer, because this angular construction line, we're using construction layer to produce the angular construction lines. So having made the construct one layer at the current layer, we'll go straight to the draw ribbon, click on the drop down menu of the draw ribbon, then select the construction line. All right, select construction line by left clicking on the mouse. Once you do that, you type in here to indicate or tell CAD that you want to produce an angular construction line. So you type in A on the command line, then you press enter. You'll be asked to type in the angle of your construction line. So in this case it's 37, then 37 degrees, right? Then you type in 37 on the command line, you press enter on the keyboard. Now you've got your angular construction line, then you lock it to this center, to the center of our cycle right here by taking your cursor to the center, then you left click on the mouse, then you press escape key. Follow using same approach. We need another angular construction line in the opposite direction. All right, so to do that, we'll go back to the draw ribbon, click on the draw diamond of the draw ribbon, then you click on construction line. All right, click on construction line, then you type in A for angular, then you type in minus 37 degrees to produce an angular construction line in the opposite direction, minus 37, then you press enter on the keyboard. Using same center, lock your cursor to this point, left click on the mouse. Okay, so that's it. So next up, go back to PDF document. So we'll produce cycles that will touch this. Yes, we'll touch the second and the fourth arc. All right, these cycles, the cycles, the smallest for this smaller curve here, both to the top and the bottom, we are going to produce a cycle such that the second and the fourth arc of our lever here will touch these cycles at tangent points. All right, then to the first and the fourth and the fifth arc we've got here, we'll produce another cycle that this first and the fifth arc will touch at tangent points both to the top and to the bottom of our lever. So let's do that. So for the second and the fourth arc, the radius of this cycle is going to be what? The radius is going to be 10. Is it 10? Am I correct? It's going to be 10 millimeter radius. Why for this? It will be, yes, 20 millimeter radius. All right, so let's do that. Go back to the main layer, click on this drop down menu, click on the zero layer, which is our main layer, then go straight to the draw ribbon, click on the cycle tool, click on the cycle tool, right, click on the cycle tool, lock your cursor to this point of intersection right at the middle here, left click on the mouse, type in the radius. Is for this case is 10. You type in 10 and press enter on the keyboard. Press the space bar to re-enter the previous command using same center as well. Left click on the mouse, type in the radius, which is 20. Press enter on the keyboard. Now, to save all the stress of recreating these cycles, we'll simply copy. Alright, we are going to copy these cycles and their dimensions. So to do that, we'll go to the modify ribbon. Go to the modify ribbon, then you click on copy. Be asked to select the object you want to copy. So we want to copy this object here, this cycle here. I will place my cursor on it, then I will left click on the mouse, then press enter on the keyboard. I'll be asked to specify the center or the base point of my copy, which is the center of the cycle. I'll place my cursor at the center or the point of intersection of those arcs and the angular construction line, and then left click on the mouse to copy. Now take it down to this point. Ensure it locks to this point of intersection. Left click on the mouse. Then I can press escape key. Then I'll press the space bar to re-enter the previous command. Select the circle I want to copy. In this case is this smaller cycle. So I'll place my cursor over it. Then I'll left click on the mouse. Then press enter on the keyboard. I'll be asked to specify the base point of my copy, which is the center of the smaller cycle. I'll place my cursor at the center. Then I'll left click on the mouse. Then take it down to this point, whatever point I need the copy to be, or the duplicate of that cycle to be. So I'll take it to that point, lock it to this point of intersection. This is where we need it. I'll lock it to this point of intersection, lock it to this point, then I'll left click on the mouse. So that's it. Then you can press escape key on the keyboard to exit that command. So next up, we'll use the trim command to get rid of every other part of every other part of these bigger cycles that we don't need. Alright, so you can easily type in trim on the command line, trim, then press enter on the keyboard. Alright, then we also select the object, select all the objects in the model space. You press enter again on the keyboard. Then you go straight to the lines you don't need. In this case, I don't need this, I don't need this, we don't need that, this, sorry, that didn't go. We don't also need this. Same goes to these boys here, these bad boys here, we don't need this. Okay, then right here as well, we do not need this, 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 this. We do not also need this, 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 this. Down to this part as well, this, 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 this. Control Z. Alright, this, this. Okay, I will zoom in a little bit so I have space to trim out these lines here. We do not need this, 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 and this. I hope you see what I'm doing. Okay, so see, get rid of these other guys here, yeah, 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 here, here, yeah. Okay, so you see that's new. You can highlight all the lines you need to trim out at once. Just highlight them, left click on the mouse. That didn't go well. Ctrl Z. Highlight these bastards. Alright, sorry for that file language. Alright, highlight this as well. Oh, that didn't go well because there is no intersection right there. So I'll just select it normally. Okay, I'll just highlight them by clicking on this arcs here. Click on them, then press delete on the keyboard. Delete. then press delete on the keyboard to get rid of them, and that's it. So say pan. Okay, so our design is not yet complete. You've got to put in this we've got some to put in here. There's a connection between this lever here and this cycles here. So let's try to put in the, so go back to our PDF document. Right here we've got yeah, the connection, this linkage between this lever and this, the distance, they are distance apart from this line upwards and to this one down here is 40 millimeters. So we are going to offset that, yes, we're going to be offsetting the horizontal construction line on both sides at a distance of 20 millimeters. All right, then we'll draw lines connecting this lever and the cycles using our main line. Then we can later on put in those fillets here at the edge or at this point of connection. All right, so back to CAD. Go to yes, offset, go to the modifier, click on offset distance 20 millimeters, press enter on the keyboard, come straight to the line you want to offset. In this case is a horizontal construction line. Click on it, offset to the top, then offset to the bottom. So having done that, press escape key on the keyboard, go straight to the draw ribbon, click the line tool, come up at this point, lock your cursor to this point of intersection, click on it by left clicking on the mouse, take it to this other point of intersection, left click on the mouse, press escape key, then you press the space bar on the keyboard to re-enter a previous command. Same mode, what you did at top, do same here at the bottom, lock your cursor to this point of intersection on the circumference of the cycle, left click on the mouse, take it to this point on this arc as well, left click on the mouse. So having done that, now we'll now try to put in those fillet. Now the fillet radius here in our PDF document is 5 millimeter radius. So we'll go back to CAD, go straight to modify ribbon, then take your cursor to this point where my cursor is right now, click on the fillet tool. Alright, then you type in arrow for radius on the command line, type in the fillet radius, which is 5 in this case, then press enter on the keyboard, then type M for multiple, you press enter. Alright, so you go straight to the parts you want to fillet. Yeah, I need this edge here, I need this edge to be fillet. Alright, so I click on this, do same here. Now as you can see, this other part of this arc is lost. So what do we do to get it back on? Alright, so I'll press the escape key to exit that fillet command. Then we use the offset to reproduce that part of the arc that just disappeared. Right, so I'll go to the modifier button, click on the offset tool, type in the offset distance 10, press enter on the keyboard, come straight to this part of the arc, click on it, boom, there you go. So now we've got back our arc. So next up we'll go back to our fillet, go to the modifier ribbon, click on fillet here, type R for radius, press enter, type in the fillet radius 5, press enter, type in M for multiple, press enter. Alright, so here you click, we also need a fillet on this edge here, so I'll click on this here, the parts or the lines that makes up the edge to get that fillet. Alright, so I'll click on this and this. Alright, come down to this part as well, click on this and this, come down to this part, this point of intersection here on the circumference of the cycle, click on this part, then click on this line as well. Alright, so there you go, that's it. So that is it. So back to our PDF document. Now what is missing now? The only thing that is missing here is this center arc. As you can see, is not using the continuous line type. So alright, so we are going to produce this line here using a broken line. Okay, alright, so we'll go back to CAD. So now you see the reason why I created a separate layer called the center. All right, so we'll go straight to this layer called the center. Let's just go straight to the layers properties. All right, so now I need to make some changes here. As you can see under this column, the line type here, they are all continuous, but as you've noticed from our PDF document, the center arc there is not using the continuous line type, so we've got to change the line type. All right, so I'll come straight to this column, then I'll click on this line type continuous, then I'll come straight to the tab load, click on it, then you scroll down to this line type called center. Now scroll down to the line type called center, click on it, then you click OK. Alright, so at this dialog box where you have select line type, ensure you have the center tool selected, then you click OK. Now the line, we've succeeded in changing the line type of the center layer. Alright, so you go ahead and close the dialog box. Now as you can see from this drop down menu, we have the center layer as our current layer. So I'm going to select the center arc here using the continuous line type. In attempt to change it back to the center line type, so I'll click on it. Now as you can see, the current layer is the 0 layer, so I'll click on it, then come straight to this drop down menu to change its current layer back to the center layer. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I hope you understood what I did there. Alright, we've succeeded in reproducing that design just as it were on the PDF document. So next up, we're going to be putting in this dimension so that the machinist or whoever that's going to be working with this design will be able to reproduce it exactly as it is. Alright, so we'll go back to our CAD. Now I'm going to turn off this construction line. Like I said earlier, construction lines are just a means to an end. So I'll come straight to the layers ribbon. Now click on the drop down menu of the layers ribbon where my cursor is right now, click on it, then you come straight to the construct one layer here. Then there's a light bulb symbol right beside the construct one layer. When you click on it, you automatically turn off the construction lines. So I'll click on it by left clicking on the mouse now. Alright, so that's what I'm talking about. Alright, so quickly we'll change our current layer to the dimension layer because we're about to start putting in the dimensions. So I'll come straight to this point, select the dimension layer, then I'll go straight to our annotation ribbon, then I'll click on dimension. Alright, click on dimension where my cursor is right now, click on it by left clicking on the mouse, then go straight to the parts you want to put in the dimensions, then you click on those parts. Alright, so I need the dimension of this arc here, so I'll click on it. Okay, as you can see, the dimension terms is very small, not very visible to the eye, so I'm going to make some changes. I'll go straight to the annotation ribbon, click on the drop down menu of this annotation ribbon, then right here the second option, dimension style, click on it, double click on it by left clicking on the mouse. Here the dimension style manager dialog box comes up. Here we'll have a preview screen. Whatever changes you make here to your dimensions, you'll see the effect here on the preview screen. Alright, so now as I said earlier, we are not satisfied with the dimension test size, so we'll come straight to the modify tab, click on it. I'll click on the modify tab. Alright, then come straight to where we'll have line primary units. Okay, now we want to make changes to the test, so we'll come straight to the test tab. Okay, here at the test tab, the current test height here is 2.5, so we'll change it to 5. Okay, 5 will be okay. Type in 5, then press enter on the keyboard. Now you see the effect of that change on the preview screen. Now next up, you go straight to fit. Alright, so I will deselect draw dim line between extend lines. So by to deselect it, click on it. Then once you're satisfied with the changes, you can go straight to this point here. You click OK. You click OK, then you can close this dimension style manager dialog box by left clicking on the mouse. Then we'll retake our dimensions again. click on this to delete it, then go straight to annotation, click on dimension again. All right, then click on this part here, click on it, do same here to this arc, click on this here, all right, and here. Okay, what is the distance between these guys here? 40 millimeters. What's the fillet radius? What's the fillet radius here? That didn't go well. Escape, spacebar to enter previous command. Deselect the object snatch option. All right, yeah, correct. 5. The fillet radius here is 5. Okay, do same here. 5. Alright, dimension of this 100 millimeter in diameter. These and these 30 millimeters in diameter. Alright, okay, escape. Also need to produce, alright, we need to produce other lines that will aid us in locating up. So I'm going to turn back on the construction layer. Construct to this point, click on this slide bar to turn back on the construction lines. Alright, so I feel like we'll need other lines that will aid us in producing that angular dimension. Alright, so I'll go straight to change back this dimension layer to our current layer, come straight to the draw ribbon, click the line tool. Alright, we need a line here. Let's turn back on the object snap tool. Okay, lock your cursor to this point, produce a line here, leave it at that point, escape, press the space bar. We need another line here. Okay, right here, escape, space bar. Okay, we need another line here. Okay, escape, select this line, click on this node. We need to extend this node at a distance of 10 millimeters. Alright, that's okay. So go straight up and turn off the construction line again. Click on this light bulb, turn it off, come back to our drawing. Now go straight back to our dimension layer, click on it, the dimension layer, then click on dimension. We need up here, we need an angular dimension. So I'll come straight to annotation, take a cursor to this point, my cursor right now, click on this drop down menu. No, that didn't go well. Click on this drop down menu, click on angular, click on it, come straight to this point. Here, 37. Alright, that's what I need. 37 degrees. Escape. So that's our drawing right there. Alright, so I'm gonna take these lines here so that you know, or the machinists will know, these are just center lines, not necessarily part of our drawing. These are just center lines that aided us in achieving the dimensioning of our angular parts of the design. Okay, all right, so that's it. Press escape key. Now if you want to know or see what your design is going to look like on paper, okay, you can escape, go straight to the bottom left of your screen, click on layout 1. All right, you click on layout 1. Now these are design right here. So if you are not okay with the size, you can still make some adjustments, adjust it to whatever extent you need on the paper by clicking on the border lines here. Then you take your cursor to any of the nodes at this point here, then you left click on it, then you make adjustment to whatever extent you need. Come down to this part as well. All right, come down to this part, click on it, adjust to whatever point you need. Okay, then you can as well zoom out if you are not okay with the size of your design here. You double click on the space there, then you come straight to where you have to the right, you have a panel here to the right, then you click on the zoom tool, drop down menu, then you can use any of the zoom options here to bold in your design or to zoom out or zoom in your design or to whatever extent you need. So I like using the zoom rate time option of the zoom tools, so I'll click on it, then come straight to my design here, then I'll left click on the mouse or press hold the left button of the mouse, then I'll drag to whatever extent I need until I'm satisfied. Okay, so I'll keep dragging. Okay, so I'm okay with this size, so I will still make some other adjustments like panning it to centralize my design. Okay, so that is it. All right, so next up, I don't need this grid here, this grid lines here, so I don't need it. So to turn it off, I'll just simply come to where I have the grid mode here, left click on the mouse to turn it off. All right, so that's it. Now I believe you can do better. Okay, there is still a lot to be done with this design. You can put in some text. You can also as well take out your time to put in a nice title block. Okay, all right, I believe you already know how to design a title block by now, but if you don't know, then I believe you are a first timer, so I would advise you go straight to my previous videos so that you get well acquainted with how to design title blocks. So that's it for today, folks. Do have or enjoy the rest of your day, and lastly, R.I.P to MOHBAD, A.K.A. IMOLE, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.